I've said before, a good dog is a tired dog, but there's also problems with boredom. You know, you leave the house and he doesn't know what to do, or it's too cold and you can't get out there and walk them. So dogs get bored, and the following are some games you can play to keep your little pup out of trouble. So stay tuned. Glad you could stay with us. Today we're talking about games you can play to keep your dog from being bored.
And I'm using treats, but you can use your dog's food, maybe sprinkle in some little Parmesan cheese or throw in a few goodies in the mix there. And you're basically using their food. I use treats. This is me and my dog, Bo, and there's scent games and some puzzle games, and he loves it. It's a high point of his every night is boxes. But also I've got a deal in here where you take I wanted to have a little supplemental protein, so I got some sardines, which don't smell as bad as you actually think they do. Anyway, and I'll take one and put it in a little bowl and hide it. I'll put him in a room or have him outside. I'll hide it somewhere in the house. Obviously, the odor is on my finger, and I'll put that to his nose, say, okay, there, smell it,
Go find it.
Go find it. Yeah, and he goes to town.
Sounds like fun, hide and seek, because
It's hide and seek. That's right,
I used to play hide and seek with them with me.
Yeah, right.
You know, run into the next room and hide around the corner, and they're back there like looking all around.
Yeah, where'd you go? What's going on? And life's interesting then. You know, we're all a little bored, and our dogs get a little bored. So, you know, and this is, you know, it's not high effort. You know,
or something else I'll do. There's a circular part where, you know, it's the kitchen and you can walk all the way around it.
Yeah.
And so I'll walk this way until he sees me, and then I'll walk over to this side, and he'll walk over here, and we'll just...
It's like, okay, where are you now? Yeah.
Are you coming out this way, or are you coming out that way?
Yeah.
So they kind of like that.
And if you do a hide and seek, if your dog's not totally motivated to do, you can also teach a name of someone. If you've got, you know, a couple of you there, and you can say, you know, go find, you know, whoever, and that's like Charlie Brown stuff, you know, for the dog, want. But if they hear go find, then the person's name, and that person calls him over, the dog comes over, yes, good dog, and you give them a little treat. Then they go, oh yeah, go find means that's that person, and then you can fade out the, you know, calling them to you.
Right.
So they learn, you know, and so if you've got a child and you want to know, you know, hey, you know, go find Billy.
Where,
you know.
Did he fall down the well?
Yeah, he stem me in the well. This is where we are totally dating her. That's Lassie. That's Lassie. Anyway, so anyway, we can get started here. The first one is his favorite game, which is boxes. So, you know, you get stuff, if you're ordering stuff online, and a lot of us do, and they're boxes, you just take whatever your stuff is out, keep the box, and then you get a big old pile of boxes, depending on the size of your dog, put a treat in there, and the dog rummages through these boxes and they're using their nose, because you don't have to fill every box in there, so they're sniffing, snuffling around. And this is his most athletic game of the day. So,
unless it becomes like Christmas, and then they're opening the boxes for you.
He kind of knows.
He knows not to do
that. Yeah.
Because one of our dogs loves Christmas, and it's like, I love tearing the paper off of it, and he'll just wait by the tree, and it's like,
well, he's
waiting. Can I?
So he's waiting. Yeah, right, yeah. But it's a pretty clear deal here that we're starting this game rather than just find some box that,
Right.
that the UPS guy just dropped off and rip it up.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't smell like food in there usually anyway.
Right.
The ones that are dropped off. So we can start that. And,
Roll that beautiful dog
yeah,
footage.
Yeah. And we can talk about this as it goes here. Boxes.
Now I'm going to load up all these boxes.
Now, Bo's a big dog, and he's used to.
All right, I put
We got the audio there, and
Treats
he's used to getting
in all these here,
in these
and since he's on a
big
little bit of
box
carpet,
boxes.
he
If you've
can
got a small dog or
No.
dog's just learning
keep
it,
his footing
just
a
have
little better.
2 or 3 boxes.
So it's not like lined up 1, 2, 3.
No,
He's got to take all the boxes apart to find it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is the audio track up on that? So yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. Yeah. And so anyway, he gets in there and you'll see him pull this stuff all over on his head in just a second. Sometimes he'll use his mouth, and if he can't get in there with his paw, he'll take his mouth and grab a box and throw a box out of there. And this way he gets up there on the edge and he's going to pull this over. There went one box flying out of there. Here go the other ones.
Yeah, that's good to keep their mind active.
Yeah, yeah. He loves
That's
it.
boxes, big
So
boxes.
fun for him.
So has he found it yet?
All right, yeah, he got it.
Okay.
This is Kong. Kong
This
is
is a
they're those
huge
black
Kong.
or
It can
red
be,
things.
the
and
top
some
can
of them
come
are
off, and you put
put
the
frozen
food
treats
in this
in
little
there,
keyhole
or
Peanut
there.
butter, this
peanut
line.
butter,
And then the
yeah.
dog.
You can put their food in there, their morning breakfast, and have them work for it.
dog walks around.
Anyway, so
Food out of there.
this has got a weighted
All right, I'm
bottom.
gonna load it up.
Kind of like these, I don't know what.
Like a Weeble Wobble.
Like a Weeble Wobble, yeah. So he knocks it around, and you load in whatever you got. That's Ziwi Peak, which is from New Zealand. I mean, how much better does it get? New Zealand air-dried beef. You can they have lamb too, and so they're so small that it ends up being something. You can do it.
So you
without
feed him
being
with this
ridiculous.
normally or no?
No, it's just a treat for him.
Okay.
It is a dog food, but I just use it for these.
Probably expensive to use that much every
It'd be
day.
expensive to use as a dog food, yeah, but anyway, so he has a big time with that. He knocks it around, and and obviously, like most owners, I should exercise him a lot more than I do. And even on a walk,
I mean,
he's not
even-
going to get that much exercise.
It's going to be like rainy or
Yeah.
nasty out. You got to
Right.
have something to do.
Yeah. So he'll look up at me when it's done, and I'll ask him, "Are you done?" And I'll check it. And,
So he knows when it's empty?
yeah, he knows when it's in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more in there?
And so I
you got
talked
it
to him
all.
as we
Okay,
go.
good job.
Yeah. He
Good
says,
job.
Yeah, it's done. Okay, it's a flying saucer little deal. It's the same idea as the Kong.
This is a flying saucer here.
But just throw it down there.
And it's
you
got a little hole in the top.
Put the treats in the top.
So I'm going to put
All
the
these things seem
Treats in
fairly
the hole
inexpensive.
Yeah,
So-
I think
right
that
down
one was-
there
Yeah.
in that hole.
You know,
You'll
it's not
flip
going to
this
take as
thing
much.
around.
So like boxes are basically free.
Right.
And shoot, you can probably do this with your own children.
Right.
They like playing with boxes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, kids will sometimes play longer with the boxes than with the expensive.
Yeah, you can do it with your
whatever.
wife. I do jewelry in it.
I hadn't thought of that.
Go find the necklace. Go.
Well, okay. Depending on what's in the box, I guess
Yeah.
you can motivate people to go look.
They usually
Yeah.
like the small boxes.
Yeah. So
Now
it
we
is
get a
big
little
time
game
with that.
here where he
Now this
uncovers
one,
where the food
that
is.
little
Oh, that's a
slide-
puzzle kind of
Yeah,
thing. Isn't
yeah, I
it?
got that at CVS.
Hey, Bo,
and
get your nose back.
Anyway, he'll smell
Get back.
what
Back.
he'll sniff at the top.
Thank you.
And he'll know that the treat's under one side or the other, and he rarely makes a mistake. He'll knock that
And they'll sniff
covering
around.
piece off to expose where
Sniff
the
where they are.
treat is. This
No.
one takes him no time at all.
Yeah,
What he
the one I
uncovered
had
was
for
was right over
Ulrich
top of where they
when
were.
he was growing up was
Excuse me, get
like
back.
a bottle,
Thank you.
and it had like a
Stay.
rubber rope that went
Stay.
into it, and what he had to do is hold the bottle with his feet and then grab a
Sounds
hold of
real
the rope
simple
with
for him.
his
Makes quick work of it.
his teeth
All
and
right.
just pull it, and then
I'm
the
gonna
rope
put
would
these-
pull out pieces of food.
Some
That's
treats
clever.
in here.
That's
It didn't take him too long to figure it out. Some of the dogs couldn't figure it out, but he was
Okay.
good at it.
Yeah.
Sort of a complex thing.
Yeah, and you can
Here, Bo.
demonstrate dogs. If dogs are used to paying attention to you, they'll,
Sniff
they'll,
through
they'll,
those little holes.
they'll do some imitative learning. So if you kind of
It
show
goes
them,
right for where they
you know,
are.
if you-
This is
you-
how it works.
This is how it works. Or if they're not used to grabbing things with their teeth, then reward them for grabbing
Did you get it? You all done?
the rope with their
You
teeth.
get all
You
of
can
them?
also take like a 2-liter.
Yeah, you did. Good job.
Water bottle or something and just cut little slots in it there, and where the dog knocks that thing around and treats spill out.
I've
of it.
got a
So that
Tin
costs
of
you absolutely
sardines
nothing.
here.
Now this
And,
is interesting because
These
what
are
you'll
in
see,
some
this
salt
is like
water
in,
that I've rinsed them
nose
off
work
to
or scent games.
reduce
you-
the salt load.
Is this any type of
And,
sardines that we would buy for
I've been feeding
ourselves?
gra-
It's
Yeah,
nothing
right,
special,
it's
right?
free.
This person sardines,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
That's
And
caused some
if you can get them
dogs,
packed
nobody
in
knows
fresh
how
water
or who
instead of
or
the
why
lower
they
the
have
salt,
some
the better.
heart problems,
Right. For you
cardiomyopathy.
and
So
them too.
yeah,
there's
yeah.
an amino
And
acid
for
that's
this,
in
I
uh,
feed him grain free and
that's
have.
in fish
but
like
apparently
this.
There's at least some dogs
that
that,
are
have been fed some
not
grain
haven't
free
been
diets,
through
and
any
nobody
big
knows
heavy
quite
processing
which, how,
to make
what,
it into pellet
but
food.
they've developed some
Anyway, so
cardiomyopathies.
that's
and,
called carnitine.
They get low on
Anyway,
carnitine.
so
It's an amino
Holistic
acid.
Vet
So
had
anyway,
suggested
there's a good amount of
that's
carnitine in these
it's an alternative to
sardines,
taking
and a
carnitine
lot
supplements.
of it's in the
So
water.
anyway, I
if
think
you get
Bo's okay. But
Packed in
what I'm going to do
water,
with this is I'm going to
and
hide
low
it
salt
somewhere in the
and,
house.
Give them the
And
water
there
to
are
drink.
Oh,
how
don't
many
drain
are
it
there?
off.
Yeah, don't drain it.
4
I
or
mean,
5
drain
of
it
them
off
in
before
there.
you hide the
I'll
sardine.
divide 'em up.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to
Like,
give him.
well,
Yeah,
a
you
scent
don't want to
target,
put that
and
in your
I'm gonna get
bedroom
time
and
to
they
go find
upset
it.
it and like
That'd be
the
bad.
sardine water
And
goes everywhere.
Then you're going to smell it.
Then
Yeah.
he will.
But they
get
don't
busy and do
smell as
that.
bad as you think.
Come here. Come here,
Anyhow,
Bo.
but what's really fun
Come here,
is
Bo.
that you.
So he's been outside
Yeah, yeah.
while you hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You put him somewhere.
Okay,
in a room
here.
Or something like
Bubba.
that. He knows
Sniff.
the game. Like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
giving him the scent
all right.
target there.
Find it. Go find it.
And when you observe them, you can tell. Now, scent, odor is heavier than normal air, so it will flow down and then flow
Yeah,
across the surface.
Okay.
And
There's
it'll
some- you're
go
right,
with,
there's
you
some
know, if
here.
there are any- if you
Right,
have
there's
your
some here, but you go find the other one. Go find the other one. Go on. Go look. Go on. Go look.
fan going, it's
Go
going
find
to
it. Go on. Go
blow
find it.
in that air. So it comes out as a cone, and when a dog hones in on it, they're getting at the edge of the scent cone, and
Yeah,
then they're
that's
working
just in the
their way
scent.
down
Go on,
to
go
the
find
thin
it.
edge of that cone to the point of odor. And when they get
Go find
a
it. Go on.
scent there, you'll see their head. You'll see a change in their manner, which is you learn to. It's fun. You learn to read your own dog, and when they really get on it, you'll see a head snap.
You might be
All this
following
happens
my
in
scent
instant.
target.
But
Right,
anyway,
the
it's
walk.
behind the door. Why not? It wasn't there. So he'll check rooms, and he's just
It's not in the
starting out,
kitchen.
And there's
Go find it.
odor all through the kitchen. So he's having to get out.
Oh,
there.
where you
now,
opened it up.
now
He's
he's
got a
got
target there.
Now he's got a target.
It's like I think where it's at.
He can smell it. And
Probably see a head snap.
smelling it. All right,
There we
there
are.
we go.
There we are.
So it's
You
fun
got
when
it.
you
Good
watch your
job,
dog.
Bo.
You start
Good
reading.
job.
You know, and this is the same kind of behavior that dogs do when they're finding lost people, and
You come
when
here.
they're finding,
You stay here. Come here, Bo.
anything.
Come here, Bo. Bobo, come here.
Drugs or anything else.
Come here.
So it's
Come here.
it's
Hey.
just the same behavior.
Come on, come here.
But what is different is you'll teach
Are you
them
staying
alert
here? I'm gonna go
behavior,
hide another one. You stay here.
when they're doing formal,
Bo, find
when
it.
they're doing some sort of actual working dogs at work. But you don't have to teach an alert to have fun with them.
So is he looking for another one?
I think I put 3 of them out there.
Oh,
so-
okay.
So now
At
it's
the same time, I guess.
No, different times.
Oh.
I'll put one out and hide it, and then I'll put it, then we're done with that, and then I'll put them in a room. They used to go in, and they used to, nope, nothing there. He checks that.
So
out.
he knows what the deal is now.
He
He's
knows.
going to go a little quicker.
Yeah.
Got a scent target
now
there.
he's
It's like,
yeah,
I know what's
he's
at the
got
end of this
something.
path.
yeah. Okay, he's on to
So
something
scent
now.
is usually heavier and
He's
it
going,
goes
hey,
closer to
hold
the
me out
ground.
here. Just
No, it would
you
be
work.
hard.
Round the corner.
There's a
It would be
There
hard
we
for
go.
me to do
Yeah.
it because I've got 3
got
dogs.
it.
Yeah, that's a challenge. Everything's a challenge with
Good job, Bo.
You'd
Right.
have to put the
Good
other
job,
2
Bo.
out and then
Yeah,
play with
you
one
can do
because
something. Yeah, have them
they
take
get a
turns.
fight over
All right,
that.
come here.
Yeah, you'd have them take turns. I
Come here, Bo.
suppose, you know.
Come here, Bo.
And this is the last one. So I put him in his room.
Okay,
you know.
well,
Or one of them's going to get
Come here,
really
Bo.
good at it, and everybody else is going to be really bummed.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Come here, Bo.
if they're piling on and everybody's
here.
going through the same,
Mm-hmm.
no.
okay. Get on your bed. Here,
That's
get
his
on your bed.
couch.
Get on your bed.
Yeah, so
Get on
you
your bed.
Up there and, yeah,
Come on,
get up,
stay.
get my 2
I'll be
front
back.
legs Up, but thanks, I'm going to be ready to go. The what? Black cord
Yeah, it's hanging down.
from, I don't know, that's where I do my video work and all that back there, I don't know. We got a green screen back there, don't you? Okay,
It says
so it's
nope, I don't
behind
think
the
so.
door here.
That door?
Smell anything in that room?
Okay. Where did I put this stuff? No, okay, no, the other door. Now he's gonna check in, he checks the dining room there, and he goes, no, not there, and he checks the kitchen.
Now
he
the
goes,
odor
"No, it's the
has
same
come out
old-
of the
Same old
sardines there, and it is all over
normal
on the
odor from
floor
stuff
here.
in the sink.
Yeah, where you opened it up.
Yeah,
Head snap.
and, okay, yeah,
There you
that's
go.
where it was back there.
I
So
guess
it's
you
kinda
would
fun to
do
watch your dog and
a
see how
drug
they-
dog or something else the
indicate they
same
picked up
sort
that
of way.
odor
You
cone.
just have
Good
them
job,
not
Bo.
finding that, but pot smell.
Yeah, yeah. And
All right, let's go outside. Come here, Bo.
Drug dogs and working dogs are usually
Go outside. Come here.
toy-driven dogs,
Come here.
so they'll
Go out,
they'll work
come on.
all day. for
That's the
all
reward.
Their time,
And I'll
Right.
hide something. Come here.
Meaning
Come on.
of life
I
is-
know.
is
Come
a
on. I'll
time.
hide something.
you know, and
Wait.
they wouldn't be so food motivated. Now I like to at the end of doing something, I like to tell them, okay,
All done.
we're all
Good job.
done, you know, and give them
Here's your final reward.
all done, final thing, and caps it off, and you know, spend a little time with them now. Now go occupy yourself.
Take your stinking mouth somewhere.
Yeah, take your sticky out
I think
somewhere.
there's something on there now.
So,
Just the last
yeah,
piece
now,
of it.
yeah, that was it. Now it's my cleanup job.
Now it's my cleanup time.
So,
I never got to taste the sardines.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
Not your favorite either.
no. Okay, well, we're back. Let's see here, and we are.
Got 10 minutes.
All right. Okay. So there are other kinds of games you can play. I mean, you can play tug and fetch with your dog,
Hmm. Inside or out.
inside or out. And when you're playing, just some thoughts about tug. If
And I've gotten my like 2 dogs to play with each other.
oh, that's fun.
You know, the 2 dogs will be fighting it out. And what was funny was, you know, I've got a Bernese Mountain Dog who's like 140 pounds.
Okay. Right.
And then the other one's like 60 or 70.
Okay. So totally unequal.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ulrich could just walk off with it.
Yeah.
He could just turn his head and just drag the other dog along.
Uh,
But he had a different way of doing it. Instead of pulling, because the other dog would be like jerk, 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 he would just walk towards them and just push them. And they would be like, what? And let go. And it's like, okay, bye.
my job is done here,
Yeah.
right?
He just push on them, you know, and come over top of them. And they're like, what are you doing?
They say, all right, if you want it, it's yours. Yeah, yeah.
It was just interesting to see,
Yeah.
you know, within the 3 or 4 dogs that I had
Uh-huh.
at different times,
The personalities and
their
the
problem-solving
strategies
skills.
and- yeah,
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, some would just drag the one across the room, or be really loud and growly and all this
Yeah.
craziness, or just walk on them.
Yeah. Speaking of dogs and their personalities, using these scent games is for dogs that are reactive, dogs that are distressed, lacking confidence and all that sort of stuff. Scent games, people have found that doing scent games and this kind of thing, which is a natural behavior, this is what dogs are made to do.
Right. That's how they feed themselves in the wild.
Definitely.
At one point, you can't.
At one point.
You can't expect to have. I don't know if people think you could drop a dog or whatever out in the woods and it's going to get along.
They're not going to.
It's been a long time since these guys have been in the wild environment and they can't survive.
Yeah. And actually, all animals, even wild animals, are taught hunting behavior by their mom or dad or their,
And if they haven't gotten that, then
if they haven't been taught hunting behavior, they won't.
They won't thrive.
Survive.
Right.
Right. But dogs, it's been a long time, and they.
I think cats would survive.
Yeah, cats. Well, they're natural.
They haven't stopped hunting.
Hunters. Right. So anyway, playing these scent games can really work out for dogs that are reactive, and can really give them a lot of confidence, because here a dog gets its own choices. It's getting it's going on its own.
It's working.
Thoughts. It's working, and it's not under direction or command from anybody. It's got a cooperative relationship with its human, so it's a good bonding experience, and it's a good confidence raising experience for your
Now, when you
dogs.
talk about reactive, is that amongst dogs or reactive with people,
Well,
or either?
yeah.
Because one of my dogs, I've had one of each. One that was, I don't know, kind of fear biting type of thing, or a trust issue with a person, and then another one who would bite another dog but not bite a person.
I mean, if you're talking about a dog that's anxious around other people, what you can do is, I suppose, you want to make sure everybody's safe. But what you can do is have that other person in the vicinity, maybe in a protected area. They're behind a gate if you're very concerned about someone's safety. But anyway, the dog is going about its business while someone's there. The fact that they're there is irrelevant, and when a dog figures out that they can go about and play this game, which they're engaged with, and one person is there, or two people are there, or they can ignore them and go about their business, and that registers at the emotional level in their brain that says, hey, having a person around is not a big deal.
They're not a threat, or they are not competition.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to steal my stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And in general, if dogs are reactive, they're usually their stress levels. If you looked at their stress hormones, their cortisol, their heart rates, their respiration, all that their baseline tends to be higher.
At a resting point.
At a resting point. So when you give them these kinds of games to do that they enjoy and
It relaxes them so
it
because they're
relaxes
busy.
them. That's exactly, yeah.
Just like going for a walk or,
Yeah.
or exercising for people
Mm-hmm.
or anything.
Yeah.
Exercise brings your stress down
Yeah.
because you're wearing some of that stuff out.
Right. So you're bringing the dog's stress down, and if you've got a reactive dog, then you want to, have the dog out of those situations that put them over the edge. So if they are uncomfortable around other people, then walk them and at some place where they're a distance from other people. They're not in the middle of the crowd where they're freaking out. And if you want to do something, the opposite of being anxious is play, or relaxation. So if you've got your dog and there's some other dogs at a distance, or some other people at a distance, and you want them to play, you can play one of these games outdoors. And the dog then goes, oh yeah, there are those people over there, those dogs over there, which are irrelevant, as long as those dogs are, going to be keeping their knot off leash or
Right.
something.
Now, Ulrich was kind of shy or afraid of people, but I've taken him into situations where there were a lot of people, festivals and different things, And as long as I'm moving forward, he's okay.
Right.
Now, if we stop, then it's like, okay, now I'm going to go hide.
Yeah, right.
You
But
know,
if you're
like-
moving forward, he goes like,
We're going somewhere.
I'm with Dad. I know what we're doing. This ends up okay.
Mhm.
You know, and then I suppose if you're moving, then people are less likely to come up and try to pet him. You know.
Yeah. Well, at some of them,
Yeah.
festivals, you go 5 foot and it's like, hey, can I pet your dog?
Uh-huh.
Or at least
yeah,
you
that's
ask.
true. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, what works for an individual dog, but the idea is to keep them under their threshold. They're under the toppling over the edge, and the opposite of being anxious or worked up is playing. So if you give them a job to do, you're back from the point of stimulation by this whatever they're concerned about that puts them over the edge. You give them a job to do. We're walking. You give them something to play. We're looking for these treats that I've hidden in the ground, or that kind of thing. Then they know, hey, I get it. That's fine. Whatever else is over there is at some distance, or no, it's not going to bother me. So let's walk, or let's play. So.
It would be fun to make up a course. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a string, and it goes like in a square or whatever kind of thing, and you tie like a target or something to it, and then is it Fast Cat? Or,
you
and
drag
then
it, and then
they chase it. The string's on a motor,
Oh, I see.
and then you let it go, and then they chase it, and you just go fast enough to where this thing, rabbit or whatever you want to call it, is ahead of them.
Yeah, just out of reach, and I
Right.
assume at the end they're allowed to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're playing tug, and the dog's tugging at something, you want to you a couple things. The rules are the dog starts the game when you say start. You play it, and you don't try to jerk the dog's neck sideways. You protect their spinal column, but then you let them win from time to time, and when they win, then what you want them to do, then the game stops. And
Well,
so
then they'll pick it up and like.
then they bring it back to you. Come on, let's play.
Right.
Yeah. You want that kind of thing going on. So that
It's fun.
and then fetch is.
And there's certain dogs, my Bernese Mountain Dogs, they're not fetchers.
No.
They'll bring you something. Here you go. You throw it away again. It's like,
I brought it to you
I brought
once.
it to what are you doing? It's like, I got it once. I'm not doing that again.
That's all you get. That's right. But
Some of them live
yeah,
for it,
yeah, some
retrievers
live
or
for it.
something.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, play games with your dogs. Find out. Do some boxes. Do some puzzle games. Do some hiding their food. Put their regular food in a Kong, and give your dog a job. And give them some fun, and give them some work.
It'd be good for you and them.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.